Welcome to part 3 of our MMX MMU builds. Yeah, last time we kind of finished the hardware build of the main MMU unit. Everything is wired up, and today we will transition to the toolhead. So as I mentioned last time, this will end up on my Switchwire. And the idea is kind of like to have this MMU unit. Basically, we mounted already this like adapter piece I designed. So this is supposed to just sit on top here. This should not really impede the toolhead a lot, especially because I already have the wire. Not sure if you can see that here from this angle. But my umbilical wire basically goes out straight to the back. So if I put this up here, the wire actually still completely goes under the MMU unit. So this is perfect, actually. Not something I planned. That's like one of these like happy accidents. Um, but it just works out perfect. So this is great. And yeah, so that's kind of like where we will later mount that. There's one technical glitch with this switch wire at the moment. A couple of weeks/months ago, like the my camera arm here that I use for the main camera broke, and I actually used the same kind of keyback clone that I also used to hold up the Z-axis, the Z-axis, yeah, like the Z-axis, correct, like the Z-axis of the switch wire. And so I I took the one from the switch wire and put it in my camera arm. So at the moment, nothing holds the Z-axis up. That is a little bit of an issue. I did order like a replacement one, but I didn't really like track that actively. And it turns out it never was delivered. So I ordered another one now. So let's see if the second one arrives. But for now, this just falls down when the printer's powered off. Not a big deal for now, but yeah. And some others like just fun observation that I had. So this is from the exact same spool. I mean, here it kind of matches. No, now it kind of looks the same. Like this yellow looks like different than what I had here, but like it's now it looks the same actually. Weird. But yeah, that was just a leftover from the spool of yellow filament I used for these accent parts, which is actually PLA. Like I didn't use it for any structural parts. It's just like accent color used, and then I was like, "This is not enclosed. Let's use PLA." Cool. Okay. Let me also quickly check. Yeah, the microphone is working. Not that we have our like little glitch again where the microphone is not working. So then let's get started. So basically, goal for today is rebuilding the toolhead with the FilamAtrix, which is the mod for the stealth burner. Which basically does two things. It firstly adds a filament cutter. So basically we'll have a cutting arm here on the side where the tool head can move to the side to depress that cutting mechanism and just cut the filament clean off. The reason you do that, or you want to do that, is if you don't cut the filament, you need to go through tip forming. So basically whenever you retract the filament out, you need to make sure that you have like a proper nice tip on the filament without any strings, so that you can basically later like cleanly reinsert the filament. That's a bit of a pain. Like I tried it before and I never really got it working. Could have been like related to the hot end that I was using at the time. But yeah, it's kind of like sorry. A bit of a pain point. So generally, I think filament cutting or cutting filament is a cleaner path. So this is one thing. And the second thing is that we will add 2 filament switches to the stealth burner. Sorry. I just had like chocolate with nuts, and like I have some nuts in my throat. Mm. So it's gone. So that is, yeah. So we basically just rebuilt the stealth burner to have the 2 filament sensors or the filament switches and the cutting mechanism. I never built this mod, and I hope this is kind of like compatible, like with the because I have the Nomi front here. So let's just see how that goes, and yeah, let's get started, I guess. Let's first get this off. Let's just start with the front, and then we can like build it off step by step. I think it will actually like I'm really happy to have then like an MMU machine. Um, Hi, Mr. DSI, welcome. Just on time, yes. Yep. Enough here. Here. Where is this? Here we go. Not sure whether I was like stuck. Okay. Let's see. So I think the easiest is just to unplug that here. And we'll just remove this whole arm. Perfect. Okay. And then the last thing left is the sensor here. And then we are free. Perfect. So these are the three main parts of our stealth burner. So that's the hot end mount, extruder with the Clockwork 2 extruder, and the front with Nomi. So it's like a relatively standard stealth burner I have here. Let's move it over. So looking at the manual. So this is the FilamAtrix manual from Box Turtle. It's a very cool manual, actually. Like I'm quite impressed with it. Like it's a 3D model you can like view in your browser. So they start with the extruder part. So I'm not 100% sure. I think we need to text the part a little bit more and then like build it back up, so to say. So let's just yeah, just take it apart. I do not have any. Yeah, part. Let me just put them here and then use that to like collect all the screws and other parts. And we literally have to take this thing completely apart. So more in here. Just keep the screws in here. Yeah. Let's start with this one. I don't think there's any specific order. Maybe disassemble that. I'm sure we use thread locker here. Screw was a bit difficult to get out. No thread locker. I think it's still like the original Clockwork 2 extruder. I don't think we rebuilt it ever. Let's see. I think it should already come apart. Let's go for the definitely use thread locker for this one. I think it's also part we're gonna reuse because I didn't print that again. It was actually like quite confusing which parts I had to reprint and which ones not. So I hope I did not miss anything. Okay, screw left. Why does this not come apart? I'm missing a screw. No, it's just like well fitted. Ah, weird. Oh, it looks like it bonded here a little bit. Interesting. Like there's a bit of stress marks here. Like as if these parts would have been fused together here. Oh, interesting. So hi there, welcome. The cover is EBB. This is EBB, but these parts should also be EBB. So let's see. So there's definitely like one heatsink insert here. You see a little bit with thread locker. It's quite interesting. And now you see here, there's like a little bit of like texture on the part. And it looks to me like if the part here and this part kind of like was glued together a little bit. That's why it came apart this hard. It kind of like fused a little bit into each other. Interesting. Yeah, and exactly that's the heat insert where I call it the dolphin, where the dolphin goes in. I know, like once you see this, like it's like a dolphin like jumping out of the water. I can't unsee that ever again. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else here? No, I'm not gonna recover the heatsink inserts. I'm honestly just too lazy to do that. The other bearing is here, so these are empty parts then. We don't need, so let me quickly check. So we have this part, which will be replaced by this part. We have this part, which will be replaced by this part. We have two dolphins, and they are a little bit different. The old dolphin is a little bit thicker here, so it's because of the ECAS fitting that we will install. Okay, so the old parts can go out. Then let's start with heatsink inserts. So this is a mini kit I got for the FilamAtrix. I don't think this comes with heatset inserts. No, it's only like, I mean, it comes with some hardware. Comes with some washers and some screws and one hex nut. And 3 T-shaped square nuts, 30-30. Okay. More T-nuts. Comes with a couple of screws. Comes with 5 heatset inserts. Let's use them. And the M10 screw. I think the rest we don't really need, so I'll just add it to my hardware collection. But let's use the 5 heatset inserts. While this heats up, let me get some more heatset inserts. Oh, would have helped to turn that on. Okay, let's just start with this part. So we have 2 in the front, 1 in the bottom, and left, right. Let's get it going. And these parts I printed on the V0 because 2.4 kind of had a bad day with ABS not sticking to the bed, and then I got annoyed, and then the V0 did it first attempt, perfect. And I think that's it. 1, 2 front, 1 bottom, left, right. So this part is complete. Oh, little mouse ears, or like one. 2 sides, 2 front, and the yellow ones are below surface. Okay, and then 3 on the back. Let's do first the normal one. This one. And then the 2 yellow ones need to be below surface. Not sure if I put this one out straight in. I think we'll fix that in a second. Should be fine. Okay, then this part is also complete. Then these parts we can reuse. That's basically this whole assembly here. That should be unchanged. Yeah, so this is technically it should be accent color. I made this black. So this is the whole assembly and these parts are identical. So we will keep this. Hi, Ravenkeeper, welcome. If you don't hear me over the CNC, you need better headphones. So the next step installs a micro switch into the extruder body. The wires are not pre-soldered. Yes, we have to solder some wires. And make sure you get all these like hardware tidbits out of the way. So don't think we need them. The only thing we need from the kit basically are the two balls and the spring. That was the important part. Two micro switches, I guess. And it comes with a little bit of wiring. So you can build this in different configurations, seemingly, with one and with two switches. So let me just, yeah, let's just water this cable basically that like each switch, or how do we wire that? Do I make any suggestion for that? Because technically we can wire the two switches with 3 cables instead of 4, if we want to. Let's see. So one of these goes in here. I'm just quickly checking if this fits. Yeah, this fits well. I'm not going to push it in now fully, but like this goes here. And I think this one goes here. And basically what this does is like we now have one switch here on the bottom behind the extruder and one before. So it just like gives the system more information about like the state of the filament. Okay, so looking at this, is basically what we can do is the top switch we wire as per standard, but then what we can do is we can connect the output, or like we basically can connect the two inputs. Let's put it like this: the two inputs of the switches. Yep. The two inputs of switches we put together, so it's ground, and then we just have 3 cables. Maybe it's nice. Maybe we can make let me quickly check the SB 219 2040 pin out. Maybe we can just like make one connector. That's kind of like what I'm kind of like hinting at. Just looking for a normal pin out. Let's just go with this. Let me think. Which one are taken? So we do have the probe. This is the end stop is taken here. I don't think we have anything else connected there, right? Only a thermistor down here. I always get it wrong. Like one of the two, but it doesn't matter. So what I would do is like we will use this probe connector because this is definitely unused. Yeah, there's nothing there. Yeah. Because there we have 2 GPIO pins and 1 ground pin. So we can basically make one 5-pin connector for like both switches and they're all wired together. Technically, we also have 2 grounds. So we can also just do 4 wires and we don't do anything funky. Let's just do 4 wires. That's easier, I guess. So that just take this wire they give me here and then just divide it in 4 equal sections. It's way too long. But we can later adjust the length to how we need it. Not quite sure yet how to route this wire, to be honest. Yeah, just put both switches here. You switch the tip here. Hi Steve, welcome. Just use the pinout config pack I uploaded to Discord. Oh, you're way ahead. I don't need the pinout yet because now we'll just solder the wires, but I will come back to that later. Not sure if we will get super deep into config today, to be honest. My goal would be to flash Clipper. It's not very fast to heat today. What's up there? And this gets like more slidey every day, I feel. There we go. Adding a little bit of tin to the cables. That's not super pretty. I will quickly remount that in a second. Okay, that is one. Hi, John. Welcome. Okay, that's the soldering. Then let's install these switches. We should put in the balls first. So basically, like there's a little, I think 5mm metal ball that basically sits between the switch and the filament. That's primarily why I ordered the kit, because I have everything else I have except for these metal balls and this spring. So let's quickly take a look at the Yeah, so there's the metal ball goes in here, and then we have from the front the two M2 self-tapping. Which was one of these bags here. These are with remove the lever. Do I have to remove the lever? Yes, I have to remove the lever. Ha! Well, thank you, Steve, for saving me. Curious finding if then the switch with lever if you need it without lever. Let's see if it's the right orientation. Now it also slides into position a little bit easier. Hi, Janelli, welcome. Which machine are you making this for? I'm putting it on the Switchwire. So that will basically go here. I made this adapter piece here to mount it, and that doesn't impede the tool head movement at all. So I think it's quite a good spot to put it. And then everything is like one nice little unit. The only thing I don't have then here inbuilt is like the spool management, basically like that rewinds the spool. But but it's in something for external. I was kind of thinking of having like these rewind spool thingies like on the extrusion left and right. Let's see, that's like for later. But for me, this is also a little bit more like a development machine in this case than like for real use. I 100% will lose this ball. Okay, let's try this again. Ball goes in. Which switch goes on? Here we go. So far, so good. Put all the wires to the back. Yeah, I think the wires also need to be really short in the end because like it's literally where the board also sits. So I think the wires will end up being like this basically. Then you just directly plug it in. The only thing I will do now, I might remove that later. Just to keep the wires a little bit together maybe later when we run everything. I'm sure if this is big enough. I'll just put a little bit of heat shrink over. Just like this, then like the cables are a little bit more bundled. I'm not sure if this like will impede later the routing of the cable here, but it should be just okay. And then like they're a little bit bundled. We can easily remove that if it's becoming annoying later. Okay, just double checking that all the connections kind of look okay. Cool. Then we already kind of like shortened that. Still keeping like a healthy length, but a bit less. You know what? Maybe let's make this half the length. So, and we have like a nice bundle here of cables. And it looks like it's quite flush here, so we should not have any issues when we later mount this here. Oh yeah, and also just to check, like this part that comes from the FilamAtrix project is already adapted. Oh yeah, but this definitely does not fit. So this one I forgot to print. This does not fit. That is my fault. Like this one, I thought I can reuse. I cannot. That is not an essential part. Okay, cool. Then this is done, I think. Yeah, now we put those together. I think that's quite standard. Just stealth burner clockwork. I've heard the spool-based auto rewinders, spring sprinters are finicky. Yeah, they could be. Like, I have a Elegoo Centauri Carbon 2 that I got, and it has these like, and actually quite nice. It's like a bayonet mount, I would call it, for spool. So you just push the spool on, and like you can fully like rotate it freely in like one direction. But if you then like let pressure off, like it rewinds a little bit. It's just like a compact unit. So it's actually quite cool. I wouldn't mind just having 4 of them left and right on the machine mounted. I'm just not sure if you can buy them like standalone. But maybe there's somebody like making like some DIY solution for that. But yeah, something like that. I'll need to see what we do there. Oh, there's also, I did not remove that yet. Here, there is this screw that I seemingly used with a thread locker. Let's do that again. Should have soldered the 2 switches together and then only had 1 ground to feed. Yeah, Steve, I thought about that, but then I was like, yeah, why? There's we have this like 5-pin switch there. We have this 5-pin switch there with 2 grounds and 2 GPIOs. So if there would be a switch with only 1 ground, I would have done it. But like this, because then the switches are together and it's harder to put them in. I was like, yeah. What is 1 crimp more? Okay, so then we have this part. This we of course have already. Then we mate them together. We mate them together. They are fitting together nicely. Then we start. I think they're all the same length. One is longer. Which one was that? It's not the ones we're looking for now for. This one. And it is this one. Not over tighten those. Then they want to check the alignment of filament. Now it would be cool to have filament. Let's get something colorful. And by the way, if somebody is asking why Loki is not on the stream anymore, this is his routine by now. He's just enjoying the stream from here. So, it's quite a long filament, but it is good. Yeah, that looks very good here. So that is well aligned. I mean, we did this before with these parts, so would have been quite weird if that wouldn't fit. Then the ECAS 04. There's this like rubber part that we remove as always, I think. Let me put this. Let's put this first in here. Then the blue part. And then so we don't lose it. It's a very loose clip, but let's put it here. Okay. Then where is it? The whole assembly here. That goes in here. And I think for this one, I want to have a little bit of thread locker. But maybe, let's try with that. It should be fine without. Okay. And then we have our, see, our updated dolphin. And this one, I 100% want thread locker because like this is a part that like will move quite a bit. So I don't want the screw to unscrew. I'll do the following. minuscule amount. ABS and thread locker is a bit iffy. So we don't want to smear it. We actually saw it, right? Like it bonded ABS together a little bit. Yeah, there's quite a good click. Let's actually do the same for this one. Mini amount. Yep, that is a good click. This will not pop open on its own. And engages nicely. So this is complete. Then this one is the longer one. There's something in the hole a little bit. No. Let me just quickly run a reamer through that thing. And then just go through. Let me think. I think we had the motor in this orientation here. And I leave it so that I can still move it a little bit. We have one of the M38s that we maneuver through here. We don't fully tighten it yet because we want to look at the backlash of the tooth here. So right now it doesn't engage at all. Okay, that's also a fun thing. Oh, that's very interesting. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Yeah. Now I can freely spin it. Wait, 1 second. Let me quickly check this. Something is not right. Check. So this aligns. Oh, should be fine. Oh, it's most likely just slid a little bit and I didn't see it. Now where is... Oh, okay. So where did the screw go? Nope, that did not work. Let's try this again. So basically I just, oh shit, now the motor is upside down. Let's try this again. So I just want to be able to slide this motor, but with a bit of resistance. Okay. Then now there's zero backlash, so there's no wiggle. Now there's a teeny tiny bit of backlash. So basically what we are aiming for is like that there's like the most minuscule amount of wiggle. If I move this here, there's a teeny tiny bit of wiggle. You can see that the gear moving a little bit. If we fully engage it, there's no wiggle here. So it's just, it needs to be just a tiny bit. If you don't have any backlash, your gear will wear out relatively quickly. So you want to have a little bit of backlash, just like this. It's very small. You want to have a little bit of backlash, but like not so much that the gear moves a lot. Because then when you retract, you have this dead space basically where the motor moves, but the extrusion doesn't do anything. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, just double check that this is tight. We don't want this to move. And this is properly spinning the motor. Yeah. Also, when I now move it in, there's a click. And there's the second click. So it switches trigger. So here's the click, like here. And now, and here's the second click. So here's the click for this switch. And here's the second click. So right around here. So both switches work as expected. Okay, then this is extruder. Like, let's do the electronics. Yeah, we can do the electronics, right? Nothing stopping us from just throwing in the mainboard now. Or not mainboard, but toolhead board. Just double checking that nothing is kind of like close to touching there, but like that looks good. We can also plug in the motor again here. And now we have these 4 cables, which I think roughly, let's do it at this length. And this can be a little bit folded. That's good. Here we go. I'll actually quickly do a little bit of a cleanup. Then let's see, we open it. This and we're almost certain. Exactly this plug we have here, and oh, we also have the great things here. Let's use what they give us. Let me see which orientation. So the nose kind of needs to face down. I'm just quickly squeezing this a little bit on. One. And yeah, Steve, like we could have saved now one crimp. That is true. And the soldering would also have been a little bit more annoying, I think. So the only thing I did not consider, all cables are red. We need to figure out which two of these cables are one pair of one switch. So it's something we need to quickly use the multimeter for. This one does not want to stay on here. Of course, the last one is a problem maker. Here we go. Okay. Let's quickly find our pair. I'll just throw in filament. So this now triggered the top switch, but not the bottom switch. And I just put this into continuity mode. And now two of these wires will have continuity. And they did. Exactly the correct two first try. It's these two. Which of these two is ground and which one is not doesn't really matter. So it's just like they need to be connected. So looking at the switch, just double check. It's these two. So these are just the first two. Yeah. Double check that I don't do anything wrong. These are the first two. This wants to go in. Here we go. And then one of the the others also doesn't really matter which order. But one is the third one, and then we have one MT. Yeah, that's the 5-volt connection. And then we set the last one. So there's one pin empty. And then once we have the correct latch here, this fits perfectly in here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a nice loop. It's not squished or anything, so that's perfect. Okay. So these are the switches. And I really like this a little heat shrink there, just to hold the wires a little bit together. Makes it look so much neater, from a cable perspective. We should have actually done the same for this one here. I'm not going to deepen this now because if you can put a couple here along, it would look so much neater. I think that's a trick I need to do a little bit more. It's a really nice easy mod, so to say, just with these filament switches. Honestly, even if you don't use an MMU, I think this is just a worthwhile upgrade. It doesn't really hurt, right? You have these switches there. And then you have automatically a filament runout sensor. When the first one runs out, you just retract out all the way, and then you can pull it out. It's perfect. Okay. Then this is done. Break. I don't have Skittles. This is a shame. Let's see. So, second half. This is the hot end mount. Quickly get this out. The new one looks a tiny bit different. So this is the original, and this is a perfect split in the middle, whereas this one has basically the halves a little bit uneven because the hot end is fully on the front, basically, and the back just mounts on like this. Yeah, let's just start with heatsets, right? I don't think I need these two, but let's just throw them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one is curiously enough empty. 15.8. I think this one is too long. Yeah, that's way too long. Let me see. This end is a bit. So also, I like how they say like roughly 15.8. 15.79. Okay, just made a small mark there. I know there are jigs to cut them straight and everything, but this will suffice. And what can I cut? So cut on, yes, the old part. Just double check that the mark I think I made is the mark I made. Okay. Then they say one side needs to be beveled. I now have one beveled side. Facing the extruder part is beveled. Okay. So we put a beveled part up. Okay. So the bone tube is here on the bottom. Now, yeah, let's take this one apart. Oops. Oh, there too. Ignore me. Might have been like a hair too long, but I think it's fine. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, that slides in very well. The bevel thing does its job. And then this goes on here, just like in the original. And then I assume it's the same screw type. Yeah. Okay. So looks almost the same. Kind of jumped over that here. Cool. Then this part. That is a little bit where I had a question mark. Because there were two very similar printed parts in the repository, and I honestly seemingly I lost one. Let's hope I lost the correct one. This comes with one blade. Let me make sure to not cut myself. But this sits quite loose. It should click into place. It doesn't click for me. Now it clicked into place. Bit sketchy with this blade. But it clicked into place. And I don't have this protection piece for the blade, so I will cut myself. Then we have this lever here. There's a mouse ear here. Move that. And there's some support here. I assume I have to remove the support. Support removed. Then I'm looking at it from this angle. Is that an M3? This doesn't look like an M3 situation to me. This hole is like way too small for M3. That is definitely like an M2 self-tapping. Which this kit doesn't come with an extra one. Or M2.5 self-tapping it was, I think. No. Yeah, for sure. Maybe there was some revision or something. Because the printed parts are definitely like an M2. Does a washer fit there? No, the washer is too big. So this is definitely what it is. I mean, it's adjustable, no? So I think this is good. Do not install it upside down. No, I don't think I've installed it upside down. The click parts on the bottom, yeah, that is exactly what I have. Then we have some spring. The spring it's inserted. And that goes in here. M318. I don't think I have a. Is this an 18? Are you 18? 16. Oh, it was a flathead. Um, there you are. That's the exact for the M2 self-tapping we used for the switches is the only screw I used from the kit so far. Okay. I think it works, like once everything is like in a correct spot. I think I have to loosen this blade here like a tiny bit, that it's easier for the blade to like rotate a bit. Oh, but it's also like this does not reach at all. Like, this is now maximally depressed. I think I inserted the blade like way too deep. Yeah, the blade sticks out way more for them. I think my printed part there is broken. Because like this is completely loose. Right? Because like this needs to be like at least covering the filament path here. Let me make a mark and then we just glue it in place. So this is how deep the blade needs to be in there. I'm not quite sure why this does not work for me. But this should be nothing a bit of super glue can't fix, right? Okay, I will let it dry for a second. And then that should solve the problem. There was a different length blade and cutters. Did you print the right housing for the blade length you have? Most likely not. That's what I mentioned. Like I printed two of these and I didn't know what the difference was, to be honest. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. So potentially this was the correct one and I used the wrong one now. Now it's glued. It will be fine. It doesn't look different though. It does not look different on the outside. We'll be fine. Not very concerned about that. That will be fine with the super glue for sure. If not, I'll swap out that part. Let's give this like another minute to dry. I don't want to accidentally glue anything together. But this actuates quite nice. And I assume there will be like a second screw down there. Yeah, exactly. Let's put that in already. Smooth action. The inside where the blade goes in the only difference, which is told by the file name, which could be put out better. Well, yeah, maybe like small marking on the bottom or something. But like the click action looks exactly the same. But I'm pretty sure this will be fine with the glue. Yeah, if it becomes a problem, that's the easiest part to swap that out later. Yeah, this will work fine. It's what I said, and then it doesn't work. Okay, that does not work. Because the glue already broke. Okay. That's the correct one. That bottoms out. But now also this does not work, like it's too short. Like if this doesn't cut the filament. So that is something I need to investigate. So this blade now bottomed out in this holder, but it's still too short. So either the blade is too short or I still have the incorrect holder, but you said there's only two different ones, right? What about, I was about to say that there's also different size length on printables, as well as in case you have a different than stock tool. Yeah, I think then I'm in need for one of these different custom lengths because like this covers like half the heat insert basically. So that's something I need to figure out. but that should not be a problem. This is very easy later to like, even with the self burner installed, right? It's very easy to like swap that out. So I'll just continue building this now, knowing that this does not work, but it is what it is. I'm also pretty sure that the depressor I have doesn't work, so something else to swap out then. Okay, let me quickly clean up my little chaos here. And then I think we can put this back together, right? Yeah, they're now already on the depressor. So let's put that on a printer. Okay. That should be straightforward. Okay. I just want to have these with a bit of friction, these screws. Yeah. I'm never sure which one of these 3 pins is the probe. I screwed it up at least like 5 times before. I think it's the inner one. I'll just plug this in already. It's not long enough what I have here. Uh, is that long enough? Yeah, it's long enough. So M38 should be sufficient here. Why is that not aligned there? Okay, now it fits. Don't ask me why this did not go in on the first try. see if everything fits together. This one I should have put the M3 reamer through quickly. So this is 100% aligned on the bottom here. Let me quickly take this off again. I'm a bit bothered that the thing always falls down. No, it's not connected yet. Sorry. Are we allowed to post links? I'm not sure if you're allowed to post links. Hi, welcome. Looks like it worked. I don't see a link. I don't think it worked. But you can post it in the Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description. Okay. Let's see if this works better now. No, it fits. That works well. That works well. So I printed this a while ago, and I honestly forgot where I printed that from. I know it's a depressor mount for a Switchwire. But I honestly have no clue How is it supposed to go on? I think like this. Yeah, that would line up. But it has two issues. Firstly, this extrusion here is not tapped. It's fixable. The second issue is they want me to use this front screw hole here to go through the plastic part, uh, through the rail into the nut I have behind here. But to do that, so basically this needs to go on like this here. So there's a screw hole here on the side, here. I need to tap the extrusion here. The other part is I have to take off the whole thing here to get the screw out. But that doesn't really work because to do that, there's a screw here on the back. I'm sure you can see that, like here. And this one I cannot get out, so I have to take off the whole axis. Let me think. Is there a smart approach to this? I mean, technically, it's only the two screws here, two screws there, and then the whole thing should come off. So let's just give that a shot, I would say. Okay. Now, can we maneuver this screw out without undoing all the belts? See if you see nothing. Okay, that is loose. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Think I have to. I have to drop the belts. There's not a way around that because I cannot pull this off now because basically the belt here holds it in. So this belt is on this side, so I have to loosen this belt. There's no way around that. Or can I do some tricks? You know what? I don't want to like mess up the belts. So let me just remove the corner here. We have to adjust belt tension anyways, but then at least I don't have to redo the whole belt. And now this comes off. And we can access this. Okay, let's do the following. Let's move this screw over here one. That did not work. Um, come on. There's some cut in the extrusion or something, and I cannot push the nut. Like it just falls out of the extrusion. Yeah, and the M38 is also lost. Let me get the other M38. We can fish it out later. Man, that's operation. Let's see if I can tighten this. Yeah, seems to work. Okay, cool. Then that is fixed. Then we need a tap. The only problem is I have the M5 tap in my toolbox. Let me quickly grab that, and then we can tap the extrusion here. And then for this part, let's do it later. Let's first the tap. I'm right back. Here we go. Looks like you have enough room there to tap it while yeah. I mean, the tap was not a problem. I just kind of pulled the thing out. It's a bit of a mess now, but I think it looks worse than it is. Something's wrong. Chris playing with the blade and no blood anywhere. Yeah, I am, I'm learning slowly. I will just do this dry now quickly. Okay. I'll quickly check that the tap tapped. Yeah, that's also deep enough. That should be fine. Okay, then let's put it back together. Let's put that back together. Actually, see how these belts should go. Oh, okay. I have like a random. Oh, it's from this part. I was like, where does this come from? Yes, this way. I had lots of issues tapping that unit. I don't know. That works pretty well for me. That's how um that's how I always tap. Maybe it's my tap being a bit different. Like if I tap a lot of extrusions, I always use a bit of like grease on the tap. But generally, like it's quite okay with aluminium. Cutting oil and do it by hand. Yeah, this is how I tapped all extrusions for the Satsuma and others. Like this is. I was way more careful in the beginning, but by now, this is kind of my tapping. Oh, would make sense to put it on the right orientation, right? I think I kind of push this in here. First, I have to put this. Now we can put this over. And I was putting all into the band. Tap slow leads to pull thread for me. Tap slow. I know tap fast with oil. No, it's like I mean I don't know. This works. That's really all I can tell you. Okay, so we need kind of some sort of M5 button head screw. I guess 8 is good enough. This one is a little bit oval. Where did I put them? This is not even close to being like a 5 mm hole. Before I do that, we have to put in one more M3. Where are you here? The screwdriver is a bit magnetic and pulls the nut out again. Not helpful. Okay, what kind of M3 do we need here? So this looks like, I don't know, M316. Is that, no, must the M must be even longer. M320. And this also looks like a situation where we want to have a washer. Oh shit, which reminds me, we don't have a washer on the motor. Wait, where's my, oh, there. We forgot the washer on the motor. I think it will be fine. Oh, there we have two. Hmm. This thing is weird, like it doesn't really click in. Let me try another one of these. Yeah, this one is a bit better. That works. And then this goes here. Whew. And now we can put the whole thing back together. So let's first fix the extrusion here, because otherwise I think I go crazy. Oh, that's Okay. Just use this to level it out. Okay. So, whew, let's fix the belts. We have to undo this corner here again. So that gives us the required belt length. First, I have to pull this around the motor here. Okay. Okay. Then sort this here. Okay. Let's quickly verify that the belts are all in place and they don't touch anything. Because here, this whole thing, yeah, it's very close. I think we need to move the whole like axis like a hair over. I don't want the belts to touch here on the saddles. So let's just loosen that on, like not super loose, just a hair loose. And now let's touch this here. So I'm basically trying to position the belts in a way that like there's a bit of air here between these. The belt and the part here. Yeah, now both have a little bit of air. So I'll just fix one screw, move it up, make sure to push both sides up, and then I know it's squared. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, this one we forgot. There's still like one lost. M38. I rescued it. And together, oh, that's actually interesting. Can I actually reach that now with the lever? I can just reach that. Okay. Then this cable is also attached. Hot end is connected. The mister is connected. We are missing the cover here. Oh, you don't see it, sorry. The cover is missing here. But besides this, everything is connected. I still love this little like neat cable here we made. And that's it. This is all connected. Now, when we move over here, we still need to install the depressor handle that will now press this in. And this is this fun little fella here. Cool, it doesn't fit. Oh, that did not print well at all. Oh shit. No. I think I have to reprint this one. This should have gotten some support. There are these teeth and they printed in the overhang. Okay, I will fix it now with ignoring these like fun little teeth. I will reprint this. Also printed a bit funny here on the back side. It's very easy not to swap out, right? Because we only need to remove these two screws here. The rest is all in place. By the way, remind me, why did I need to take off this part? Oh, to push in the thing, yeah. Exactly. Okay. No, I did have to take that off. So I do have a couple of homework items. Oh wait, there's a second one needed. This has like two heatsink inserts. I totally forgot. Maybe it's a wee slot. Hi Rush, welcome. I'm not very good with my messages today. Are Zakia less compatible with NeoPixel? No, these are just like 24-volt LED strips. They don't have any smart, they don't have any color. It's just like on off. I just used them. Um, well, I had them on my Ender 3 already before I converted into Switchwire, and I kind of like kept them. They're fine. They're doing they're making light. So let me align it horizontally. That should be about here. And then to be honest, I think we need basically no screw at all there. Um, Let me just use a M312. So we definitely want to. I just basically put it all the way in because there's not much we need. It's a bit too low actually. Looking at this, like there's like this like little like divot, and it doesn't hit there. I mean, like it works, but I think that's not exactly where it's supposed to hit it. If you look here, so there's this little divot, and like the screw, like here you see it now exactly, like it hits below. I don't think that's a problem. I mean, this will work exactly as intended. We do lose quite a bit of travel space here though. So I think this part I will redo like way shorter. Because like there's no need for this to be so far out. Like we can easily, like literally, if I remove this here, this screw is almost long enough to hit this already. Like we need maybe this much. It's a bit, right? Yeah, it's maybe half what we have there. Because I of course also want to make use of all the space here. So this is the end. So this much we need. And this is how much we have. So this is too long. Like this is just like wasted build space. So I will make a shorter one there. But besides this, the mechanic works nice. Oh yeah, that's what I mentioned. Like this printed funny here. I don't know what happened here. Like the overhang is just completely toast. So this part I will reprint just for visual reasons. But besides that, I think it works quite nice. So this part I will reprint. and I will make a shorter one of these depressors. I think the technical term of that is. As I said, I need to print the cover, and I need to print that other blade holder that is a bit less steep. But besides it, like the mechanic itself works fine. It's just like it doesn't slide in quite far enough. But I'm pretty sure that once we have the correct part now, that will go very well. And also this works well. Yeah, I hear the first click here. There's one click. Oh, not sure where the second click is. The dragon is awake. Yeah, I'm not sure where the second click now is. Because I only hear the top one. But yeah, we'll be fine. Will be fine. Because I clicked before. Nothing changed. Oh, inspection time. Okay, cool. But looking at the clock, we are kind of like at my stream end time, and I think we have reached quite a good milestone. Like all the hardware is done. The only thing, that's something I want to do next time, is or like not next time, but like this is literally the last thing I want to do. This is this 4-to-1 reducer. Now he is here for his toy. For some reason, he really likes those. But he had we had some incidents last week, so he's not allowed to take them. He ate a rubber band. He had to go to the vet. Like I know he shouldn't eat rubber bands, but he found one. I will play with him in a second. But yeah, so these 4-to-1 reducers, that's basically like kind of like will end up being inline here, so to say. So we'll have the 4 bones coming down from the MMX MMU. They go in here, and then basically this reduces it down to 1, and then we will have 1 bone connecting this part here, also with the ECAS fitting. And here on the side, there's another switch. So that's another micro switch we will add. So we have 3 micro switches, 4 micro switches basically in the whole path, which should just give us like lots of data. There's also, of course, the pre-gate switch here. On each of them, we have 1 switch. So basically, we see that the filament is loaded on the gate. And then when it's pushed out, it will hit this reducer. I call it reducer switch. Actually, I need another ball there. I'm not sure if I have another ball. Maybe I have to order that. So that will go in here. And then basically we'll hit the switch for the like before the extruder and after the extruder. So that just helps Clipper to like exactly know like where the filament is in this whole chain of sensors and reducers and stuff. Yeah, indeed, I need a ball there. I don't have a ball anymore, I think. So I need to get one of these sorted somewhere. And this one I got actually from the Pico MMU. This is a part of the Pico MMU. Cool. Yeah. let's not drag it out. Let's continue next week with software configuration and with quickly. Maybe I fix these parts up like over the weekend already. I think it's not super interesting to quickly swap out these parts. So maybe I'll do that over the weekend already. Cool. Okay, then. Thank you everyone for checking in. And yeah, see you next week with some more MMX action. And then hopefully we do some stuff next week. Until then, see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.